little Ferdinand. Okay, here's Tito. Okay. He's like, come on, you're talking to a Scorpio. I thought you were paying attention in class. Why does he say that? I took his astrology class. I learned a little bit of numerology, a tiny bit, and tarot so that I could do marketing for him as just a person who does all those things, which I did, and that was very helpful. And then at one point I told you, he told me he liked me, and I was like, it's just, he's too young. Not sure when you get this message. It's a secret, and I wish I didn't feel it's a secret. He just told me. Most girls I meet lack substance and hide from the mystery of life. Like I said before, I should have told you this after I had the realization in the woods. Feelings can be a pain in the ass. Yeah, okay. And actually, I was on mescaline. So I don't know if he was filming, but I was by a fire, but I was super lucid. All that footage would have been would be me talking about, I told you this, about how I was relating to the safe fire that I built as my core, and then there were layers of my ego outside of that, and my last, most obvious layer is the warrior layer, and I knew I'd have to become that, but I also knew eventually that in order to gain more enlightenment, I'd have to give up that role too, thus the peaceful warrior. Anyway. So I write him, he goes, different life phases, like our lives haven't been synchronized, and if age wasn't the problem, you wouldn't have mentioned it. Cougar at all, because I was like, I'm not a cougar. Sounds more like pride than pride thing. I'm not thinking about the future, the past, I'm thinking about the present. To be honest, what I sense is that you pick people who are unhealthy for you, and you are comfortable with it. It's all you know. Goes with how you grew up. I mean, he's totally right. Everything he said is right. I know the way you operate, and you tell me too much. I have no expectations of everything. I just want you to know I'm a mirror, and I will reflect back to you anything you think no one else can see. Be honest, because I see you. And he did, but he uses this mirror reflection thing as a way of sidestepping responsibility. He is very young, and it shows up through tantrums. Like, I think it makes sense. I believe we've had a lot of back history together, and I think we have genuinely good intentions towards one another. However, in this form, it's not where we're at. For one thing, I wouldn't be a cougar, but certainly a wildcat at this time. Age doesn't bug me, but life phase does. We're not on the same life phase. That being said, I have a deep reverence for a relationship. As for the form that's taken me forward, it is a sacred bond, always best honored under its own terms. Let's take the best of it and apply it to our goals. We're here to restore our human dignity to one another. I think it's that way that we are most compatible. Also, I have James' news as well. Heard more about the story. He's back if you want to talk to him out on bail. James was his friend, not mine. But he was my neighbor. Like, you aren't nuts. You're sensitive and eccentric. There's a difference. He's like, I know. I just feel too much emotion today, so I get pissed. And if he's not accomplished, he doesn't drink, eat sugar, or anything. I know, he was really straight edge. And then, thanks for getting me those sites. You really do a lot for me. Battle with this Jesus guy, blah, blah, blah. But I was doing marketing for him. He said, I'm like, you were right about he would tell me about my chart. I'm like, you're right about the inspiration thing. I feel really inspired as I am inspiring others into art or their calling or whatever. Yes, I'm extremely good at managing resources. I just never have any of my own to manage. That means he knows I'm poor. It's like, and your Mars in Aries, explain a lot, astrologist, right? It's kind of funny. In the 12th, make most of your pioneer drives going to selfless compassion service, but you have an 11 name number, and that is recognition and fame. Brother knows what he's talking about, let's be honest. So then I'm just giving him marketing advice about what he should put it under. Most Google term, look it up. I'm like, sick of this pauper shit. He's like, thrones. If you just want a comfy chair. Anyway, I'm really good at numerology, compatibility charts. They're fucking amazing. I'm like, yeah, more to utilize. Very intelligent writing, I see. Very funny. Oh my god, of course, being a Scorpio, I read the bringing sexy back first. You are so silly. Sometimes men can't handle the rejection. They blame us when our peepees don't like their peepees. This is a quote from my blog. Not all peepees are created equal. It's under the Constitution yet, dummies. As I understand it, Bible God was like, oh, he's quoting more of my blog. Oh, I could really get off on her purity. Foop, spiritual tongue. Well, bam, bitch, have my baby. Awkwardly, the voice of God has to narrate his sex voice since God doesn't have one. God wants you to know he appreciates your vigor and spirit. Very, very holy indeed. He's quoting my blog. It is pretty funny. Your sketch needs color for my logo, for my new company. Okay, so he knew that was going on. Work on designing those. I'm pushy, yes, but only because I want this, and I want it for you to put up a daily deal on Facebook, like 10% off, or a relationship reading, get a money one free, or whatever. Telling him how to do deals. Face-to-face marketing, like you're doing online running ads, printing ads. I'm just giving him marketing advice. I think he said I didn't help him. I did. Okay, and here's a sketch for our company. Side chicks. Nice, I can use my laptop. So he has a laptop because I don't. I wrote him a review. He's like, you're so bossy, but I listen because it's good advice. I'm like, yeah, personally I think Sacred Grove needs 2 more tarot signs, but that's just me. Okay, so I'm just showing you this to show you that I did have a little bit of a background in... I want a 2,000 calorie pills. Why? Because it'd be time saver, but also food. But what does it mean I want calories? Yeah, exactly. Uncrossing, and he goes, pray to Jesus, unconditional love, rose quartz, love stones, good night. So what does that mean? We're into stones, and even though we're witches, we do utilize deities that are common in the masses. Sorry, prophets, whatever you want to call them. Son of God, and your names are your names. Okay. And you're like, that's not possible. I'm like, wait, no. And then I'm like, I'm quitting. I have to call in and quit the improv. You guys said I was fired. No. I'm like, so much went down. Okay?